No, we'll do a full ounce.
A sale is in progress at the Denver Cannabis Dispensary local product.
Like this has a little bit more of a piney, some have citrusy smells.
This transaction is now legal in the state, and law enforcement officials say that for the most part, licensed cannabis stores can be good neighbors.
They're like any other business as long as they're following the regulations.
But this undercover officer, who asked that we conceal his identity, says there are growers who are bending the rules.
That's what we get inundated with. There are phone calls from our citizens about people growing marijuana next door and just the odors out of control.
Federal data indicate 1 out of 7 Colorado adults uses marijuana. While most pot users are law-abiding, this commander says his task force is often overwhelmed with those who illegally smoke in public, drive while high, sell to teens, and smuggle marijuana out of state. Still, federal data shows that arrests for possession and distribution of pot in Colorado have dropped by nearly half since before sales became legal. As for the overall crime rate, there's been little change. An organization of current and former law enforcement officers, judges, and prosecutors is urging that the federal government legalize all drugs.
Does it seem fair that for a low-level drug crime, possession, distribution, that you would be incarcerated for decades?
Jason Thomas, a former Colorado law enforcement officer, is now a spokesperson for the group, Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, known as LEAP. He envisions a nation where some drugs are sold at a storefront while others are more regulated.
We're not going to do away with our pharmacies. It's not, the system's not going to go to just like a full recreational hoo-ha, here's all the drugs in one store. As is, you may be able to find that in some other places in the world. It's more that each drug has some merit one way or the other, and so we need to look at that drug and treat cocaine differently from marijuana. Possibly from a medicinal side, but as well as a legal side.
Pointing to the state's crime statistics, he says fears that legalization would lead to mayhem have not panned out.
The big boogeyman, we've opened the closet door and no one's in there.
The Colorado experience is being closely watched by a dozen states, where activists are working to get out the vote for marijuana legalization there. For VOA News, I'm Shelley Schlender in Denver.
It's child-proof. I struggle getting these open. I have to squeeze the side of it very hard, and I am 27.